and culture to reduce rising tension in the country. And Gbajabiamila gave the advice while commenting on killings and kidnappings in the country during an interview with State House correspondents after a meeting with the President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. And the speaker stated this in a socio-political group including Ohaneze Ndigbo, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, Afenifere, and the Middle Belt Forum berated the Northern Elders Forum for alleging that Northerners were being attacked in the South. And they described as false allegations by the NEF and Kano Elders Forum. And according to them, on the contrary, it is Fulani headsmen that are kidnapping, killing, and raping host communities without any action by the Buhari regime. But early on Wednesday, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, after a meeting with the President, said the federal lawmakers will come up with legislation to address the current unhealthy relationship between headsmen and their host communities, especially in the southwest and other southern parts of the country. And when asked for his view on the building tension in the country, Gbajabiamila said all concerned needed to embrace dialogue. He warned against any ethnic group lording it over others. And in another developments, the NCC plans additional emergency communication centers. The Nigerian Communications Commission on Wednesday said it was working seriously to activate emergency communication centers in the state where the facilities were currently non-existent. And it also stated that state governments have been calling on the commissions to establish the centers in their states, as this was in recognition of the significance of the facilities. And the NCC's Executive Vice Chairman Umar Dambata stated this while receiving 2 international recognitions which the Commission got from the International Public Relations Association and the African Public Relations Association. And Dambata noted that with 19 ECCs already established in 18 states of the Federation and Abuja, the centers played vital roles during emergencies as they facilitated responses from emergency responses agencies whenever 112 was dialed from any network. And he outlined the response agencies to include the Nigerian Police Force, the Federal Road Safety Commission, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Fire and Ambulance Services, and the National Emergency Management Agency. And Dambata said that the ECCs were activated as one-stop shop for receiving distress calls from the public and dispatching same to appropriate emergency response agencies to timely response and resolution of the distress. Now the news coming from around Africa. South Sudan partially locks down over COVID. Schools in South Sudan have been ordered to close except for examination classes amid rising COVID-19 cases. And social gatherings, including religious ones, have also been banned in new regulations to prevent the spread of the virus. And companies have been urged to allow non-essential staff to stay home. Public transport would only operate at half capacity, and wearing of face masks is mandatory. And South Sudan had a partial lockdown until May, where it was lifted, and experts warned that it could lead to a surge. And still from around Africa, in DR Congo, where the parliament elects president's ally as speaker. A supporter of the president in the Democratic Republic of Congo has been elected Speaker of Parliament in the latest sign that Felix Tshisekedi is wresting political power away from his predecessor, Joseph Kabila. And Christophe Mboso's appointment comes 3 weeks after a pro-Kabila appointee was voted out. And when Mr. Kabila stepped down as president 2 years ago, he still retained considerable powers as his coalition had won the majority of parliamentary seats in what was widely seen as a flawed election. In December, President Tshisekedi moved to end a coalition with Mr. Kabila and force the resignation of the Prime Minister by persuading scores of the MPs to defect. And the President can now appoint a Prime Minister and a government that will be free from the interference of his predecessor. He is expected to get on with the promised reforms, including ending the armed violence in mineral-rich Eastern Congo. We're going on a short break, and when we come back, we get more updates from the United States of America.
Someone shout hallelujah. And so I'm decreeing all those who say you will not reach your goal, you will attend their funerals.
Power everywhere. Power of God. Power everywhere. Power.
There is a wave of preservation coming to Taraba.
Life, power, in the mighty name of the Lord Jesus. Drop him, leave him, walk, go, let him go, go. Glory!
Generational Impact Taraba 2021 with Apostle Johnson Suleiman.
Be my guest as I come to Wukari, Taraba State on the 15th and 16th of the month of February.
Pastor Courage, clean that man's eye. Just clean his eyes. Clean it, clean it. Your right hand. Let him follow you to me. This way. Whoa! Glory!
God is going to be reaching out to us mightily, and there's going to be a great move of the Spirit of God. Number 17. Is that your house? Yes, sir. 26 plus 26. How old are you?
15th and 16th February 2021, 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. GMT plus 1. Happening at GSS Wukari along Ibi Road, Wukari, Taraba State, Nigeria. Also, there will be the state church dedication by Apostle Johnson Suleiman. For inquiries, please call 0706 854 6314 or 0703 289 5750.
I'll see you in Taraba.
O land, be positioned to hear the word of the Lord. Welcome back. More updates from the United Kingdom. COVID-19, Robin Swan says Northern Ireland's infection rate still too high. COVID-19 infections rate in Northern Ireland are continuing to fall, but they are still too high. Health Minister Robin Swan has warned, and he urged people to keep following lockdown rules in order to help give the health service breathing space. And Northern Ireland is in a lockdown that is due to last until the 5th of March at the earliest. And Mr. Swan's comments came as a further 11 coronavirus-related deaths were recorded by the Department of Health in Northern Ireland. And its coronavirus death toll now stands at 1,889. And the latest figures released on Wednesday also recorded 504 new positive cases of the virus, bringing the total in Northern Ireland to 105,225. And there are 701 people with COVID-19 being treated in Northern Ireland's hospitals and 65 patients in ICU, and 60 of them are ventilated. And in the Republic of Ireland, 94 were coronavirus-related deaths were recorded in the latest figures from the Irish Department of Health, bringing the country's total to 3,512. And a further 1,013 new cases of COVID-19 were also reported in Ireland on Wednesday. And now moving forward, Myanmar coup: military blocks Facebook for the sake of stability. Myanmar has blocked access to Facebook days after the military overthrew the democratic government in a coup. An official said the social media platforms, which for many in Myanmar is the only access to the internet, will be blocked for the sake of stability. An elected leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, was detained in the coup, and police have filed charges against her. And the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has urged the world community to make sure Monday's coup in Myanmar fails. And half of Myanmar's 53 million people use Facebook, which without loading pictures or videos is free, and for many therefore synonymous with the internet. And over the past days, activists have set up a Facebook page to coordinate opposition to the coup. And Facebook acknowledged the disruption, saying they urged authorities to restore connectivity so that people in Myanmar can communicate with their families and friends and also access important information. And the Ministry of Communications and Informations said the social media platform will be blocked until the 7th of February. And moving on to business news, reps grill DPR and summon NNPC and CBN over a $20 billion oil theft. And the House of Representatives has continued its investigation in diverted and stolen crude oil in Nigeria valued at $20 million. And with its ad hoc committee on oil thefts grilling top officials of the Department of Petroleum Resources. And while the committee hosted the DPR at its investigative hearing in Abuja on Wednesday, it announced that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and the Central Bank of Nigeria have been summoned to appear before it on Thursday and Friday respectively. And Deputy Majority Leader of the House and the Chairman of the committee, Mr. Peter Akpatason, in his opening remarks said the panel had gone through submissions from the various stakeholders in the sector. Akpatason said the committee was not set up to witch hunt any person or organization, but to identify and prefer a lasting solution to the lingering cancer bedeviling them in the nation. And the Director and Chief Executive Officer of the DPR, Mr. Saki Awalu, said most of the theft occurred on land terminals as pipelines were used to transport crude oil to export terminals. And still on business news, federal government moves to full implementation of the ECOWAS brown card. The federal government of Nigeria has moved for the full implementation of the ECOWAS brown card insurance scheme to guarantee prompt compensation to victims of road accidents within the ECOWAS member states. And the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, said this while speaking at the inauguration of Mr. Ganiyu Musa as the chairman of the Council of the Bureau of ECOWAS brown card insurance scheme in Abuja. In a statement, she's noted that the existence of the scheme and its effective implementation will stimulate integration of the West African Regional Bloc preparatory to the full implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area subscribed to by most of the ECOWAS countries. And Ahmed, who was represented by the Commissioner for Insurance National Insurance Commission, Mr. Sunday Thomas, applauded the initiative that welcomed the free movement of goods and services within a sub-region and promotes intra-regional investments and cooperation. And she said it was a huge step in the right direction for economic integration. And while the new chairman of the Bureau would be examining the appropriate governance for the National Bureau, she said there were challenges that must be addressed if the objectives of the ECOWAS Brown Card Scheme was to be fully achieved. And she listed some of those challenges to include lack of respect for the agreement signed by member countries and the delay in settlement of claims due to victims and inadequate funding of the National Bureau. And his acceptance speech, Musa promised to address all the highlighted challenges bedeviling the success of the scheme, promising to leverage on the successes already recorded to reshape and promote the scheme amongst West African countries. We'll go on another short break there. When we come back, we get more updates from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Praise be the name of the Lord. This is the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. My name is Dr. Lizzie Johnson Suleiman of Omega Fire Ministries, wife of Apostle Johnson Suleiman. God has made manifest with omnipotent passion His glory in Omega Fire Ministries worldwide. By His leading, we converge as joyful worshipers from every tribe, every tongue, people, and nation this February. Oh yes, this February, God through His choice servant is set to rain His glory in our lives. God is set to rain His glory in your life. Therefore, let us prepare and bring our affections in line with His. Oh yes, as we receive God's general, our Father in the Lord, Daddy E.A. Adeboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, for their 17th anniversary celebration. Oh, I'm so excited. Anniversary celebration of Omega Fire Ministries. It's Ebenezer 2021. And of course, my husband, God's choicest servant, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, the Restoration Apostle, will be ministering alongside myself. On the 14th, we are receiving our Father. You don't want to miss this for anything. At the International Worship Center of Omega Fire Ministries. Be there.
Ebenezer 2021.
Welcome back now on sports news. Lingard scores twice on West Ham debut. A rejuvenated Jesse Lingard scored twice on his West Ham debut to fire David Moyes' side to an impressive 3-1 win at Aston Villa in the Premier League on Wednesday night. And the one-time England international had been frozen out at Manchester United but looked sharp from the first whistle on his first Premier League start of the season, and drilling in with his left and right feet to take the visitors to victory at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins had come close to opening the scoring in the first half, curling a shot onto the outside of the post, but West Ham were on top for a long period, and Thomas Sosek finished a fine team move for the 8th and the seasons to give them a deserved lead. And Lingard scored an impressive second himself 5 minutes later, and although Watkins pulled one back, although Watkins pulled one back, it was the Hammers new boy who had the final say, and shooting through Emiliano Martinez to make it 3 away wins on the spin for the 5th place West Ham, and Aston Villa stayed 9. And in another sports story, late drama as Barca win 8-goal thriller to reach Copa del Rey semi-finals. Barcelona survived a huge scare to reach the Copa del Rey semi-finals with dramatic 5-3 extra time victory at Granada. Granada were 2-0 up with the 2 minutes of normal time remaining, thanks to goals in each half from Kennedy and former Tottenham striker Roberto Soldado. But Antoine Griezmann inspired Barca's thrilling late fight back. The Frenchman reduced the arrears on 88 minutes before setting up Jordi Alba's stoppage time equalizer as the 30th-time winners forced the extra time. And Griezmann then gave Barca the lead in the tie for the first time in the 100th minute, but Granada fought back to level us swiftly through Federico. But as penalties loomed, Frankie de Jong restored Barca's lead before Alba added a stunning second, volleying in another Griezmann assist to send Ronald Koeman's side into the last 4. And that's the size of the news for us today on Celebration Television News Desk. And if you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. NCC plans additional emergency communication centers. DR Congo Parliament elects President's ally as Speaker. Myanmar coup military blocks Facebook for the sake of stability. Federal government moves for full implementation of ECOWAS brown card. And on sports, late drama as Barca win 8-goal thriller to reach Copa del Rey semi-finals. And our photo of the day, as you can see, is a stop hate, and this picture tells us that our lack of forgiveness makes us hate, and our lack of compassion makes us hard-hearted, and pride in our hearts makes us resentful and keeps our memories in a constant whirlwind of passion and self-pity. And when we discover this and take deliberate steps to make amends, then we are less prone to inhabit the spirit of hate. Tell us what you think about our photo of the day on our comment sections on our different social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, it is at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it is Celebration TV. Your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself in or the organization you work is defined your leadership might. And as an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed, has backed his way to success. Be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either have a positive or a negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. So be a part of nation building today. Thanks for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squatter, and have a nice day.